Hello, my name is Brandon Hommon, Salesman of Landmark Implement. Today I'm going to talk to you about calibrations with an N500C. So to do the calibration on an N500C, the first step is to find the Seed Star home page. In this instance, main menu. Here we have our Seed Star app. We're going to select that. That brings us to our Seed Star setup page. Down at the bottom we'll have a diagnostics and calibrations option. We'll select that. And here's where our calibrations will be found. We have a meter calibration, height for your height sensor, and your tank scale calibration. The tank scale calibration is where we'll start, and you'll push that, go into this calibration page. Down at the bottom you have a begin calibration icon. We'll select that. Here it gives us some prerequisites that we have to meet. In this case we aren't moving, so we can select next. We have a new drill behind us, so we know there's nothing in it. The tank says it's reading 6 pounds, and we're going to zero that and then click next, and now our calibration is successful. Once back to our calibrations page, the next thing we'll focus on is the meter calibration. Once we're in this, we have two options down at the bottom. We have our manual and our active cal. And since this is a new drill, we're going to start with a manual calibration to establish a baseline for the drill. And each season you would change crops or go to plant the first time, I recommend that you do a manual calibration to get the basics set with your drill. So we'll enter a manual calibration here. It gives us a warning that here's the criteria we need to meet. In this instance, our EPG is off, and we must turn that on to proceed. Now we have our EPG running, and so our next step is the next button down in the bottom left corner, right corner. Here we have to select which meter we're going to calibrate. Obviously left wing and center, and right center and wing. In this instance we're going to do the left center, so we'll select left center, move on to the next phase. Here it's going to tell us we're going to do a default of 50 RPMs with the meter, which is perfectly fine, so we're going to select next. And now we're ready to walk to the back of the drill and install our calibration equipment and run the meter. So once we've got the tractor prepared, then the next step is to come back to the back of the drill where the meter is, and with the drill you're supplied with a scale and then this catch bag. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hang our bag on the scale, and we're going to zero that to eliminate the weight of the bag. Once we've got the scale zeroed, we'll take our bag and we will place it in these two slots on the door, and now we're ready to catch our product. Once we have our bag in place, we'll move over to the right side of the tank, and here's our switch to run our meter. And once we've got our bag hung and we're ready to go, we just hold this switch down and it will turn our meter for us and catch product. So we'll continue to hold this switch down, and if you remember in the cab it talked about 50 revolutions of our meter, so you'll continue to hold this switch down until those 50 revolutions have completed, and the meter will stop turning when it has gotten the 50 revolutions. At that point in time we'll step back into the cab and let the monitor know how much product we caught. Once we've completed the cycle of our meter, we'll remove our bag and we'll catch a weight. In this instance we didn't run any product out, so it'll read 0, but you'll get the reading off of your scale. Once you've got that, we'll head up to the cab and tell the monitor what we caught. Now we're back in the cab and we're ready for the next step. We've caught our product. In this instance we'll pretend that we caught 25 pounds, so we'll hit next. Tractor wants to know how much we caught, so we'll tell it 25 pounds. Click OK. Next. Here's our new MDV value for the left center meter. And from here you will continue that with each meter to calibrate each one independently. There is instances where they will be different readings, and so I recommend that you do all meters separately when you're first starting to make sure they're as accurate as possible. Once you've got that completed, you hit save, it's updated. So we can now hit OK, and we're back to our meter calibration page. And again, like I said, we want to make sure we do all of them. So we'll go through the steps here slowly so you can see. Click next. And now in the next instance, maybe we would do the right center. So we would go to the next page. Our 50 RPMs, as we talked about before, that's fine, we'll go next. And now we're ready to calibrate our right center meter. The other option for calibration that I'd like to show you is the utilization of an iPad to calibrate the meter as well. In this instance, you'll still go to the main menu and then your SeedStar app, still into calibrations as well. And in this instance, we still have to tell the tractor that we're going to do a meter calibration. Once here, you'll still select the manual option. And once we get to the meter calibration page, you'll see an icon down at the bottom that looks like an iPhone or potentially an iPad. We'll select that and connect it to our device. We've previously hooked our iPad to the tractor through our settings app on the iPad, and so now we're ready to actually hook the iPad to the tractor and begin a calibration process. I want to point out that the Seed Plus app listed here is the app that we utilize to do the calibrations on the N500Cs. Once you're in the Seed Plus app, at the bottom here there's an icon that says Tools, and we'll select that. And in this instance we're going to do a mobile cal, second one down, so we will touch in the box. And now we are connected to the tractor, and it gives us a message on the 4600 telling us that we are now hooked to our iPad to do the calibration. Once we've established connection with the iPad, the next step is to follow these first three prerequisites. All are green checks, so we're ready to continue. So now it'll be almost the exact same process we did before through the 4600, but instead we'll do it through the iPad. In this instance, we're going to select the left center again, and we'll continue. And now it's warning us to prepare ourselves on the back of the drill with the catch bag to perform the calibration. We've got everything ready to go, so we will continue. And now we're ready to press and hold the switch to turn the meter on the back of the drill. So now we're at the back of the drill, and we're ready to begin the calibration process with the iPad. Again, we'll hold our switch to turn our meters, and you'll see on the iPad it will start counting up on the revolutions. In this instance, it's going 100 revolutions. When the meter's completed and we're done holding our switch, we're back to our iPad and we're ready to move to the next phase through it. And it's got our 100 revolutions counted, so next will be to continue. And in this instance, we'll again tell the iPad how much we caught. And again, we'll just say 25 pounds. And then done. And then we'll continue. And here's our new MDV value for our left center. Obviously, I typed in the exact same weight, and so they match. But now we have an MDV value for our left center. And again, like before, you can do this for each meter across the drill and have an accurate reading for all four. When completed, we'll hit save and finish. And it gives us a message that they've been updated. We're okay with that. And now we're back to our beginning point for our meter calibration on the iPad. Thank you for watching, and if you have any more questions about the N500C, please see your landmark location.